thing, dude.
Well, if we run the numbers here and we look at them, these percentage of New Hampshire voters, they like his policies, but they don't know what his policies are.
Spornak.
They don't like his personality, but they like his racism.
She's still in Spornacki mode.
Oh, no.
These people hate the J6 choir.
Step away from the mega monitor. It's consuming you.
But they love terrible choir music.
The primary's over.
Have you been at the wall this whole time?
There must be more numbers to run.
We don't need to zoom in on every county. When was the last time you went to bed?
There's no time for sleeping.
I do agree. The exit polls got to the point where they were like, which diners would you like to go to? New Hampshire is so unpopulated that I think the ratio of press to people is like 1-to-1 there during the primary.
It's one diner per person in New Hampshire.
It's 2 mainstream media news channels per bar.
Here we have MSNBC and Fox in the background.
You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now. 3.
Is that accurate?
No.
Oh, it's very not.
We win it every time. We win the primary. We win the...
I like how you're like, oh, something strikes me as wrong about this.
What is that growth coming out of Trump's shoulder? Oh, it's Tim Scott.
Wow, she's doing like a speech like she won. She didn't win, she lost.
Bending reality is my thing.
And when I watched her in the fancy dress, that probably wasn't so fancy.
I just want to point out that she's a woman.
Come up, I said, what's she doing? We won.
What's she doing?
I never know what she's doing.
We must respect the will of the people. And Nikki Haley can't become an election denier. She's been rejected. She can say tonight she came in second, or you can say she came in last.
How could anyone be within 12 feet of this person and not have their brain explode?
Let's take this 1 degree further. Being an election denier is bad.
Oh, but he said he's an absolute election denier. Subtle difference.
Yeah, he's proud of it. He's like, absolutely.
They've claimed it.
It's like Highlander. There can be only one.
You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame.
I just love you.
No, that's
get away.
That's why he's a great politician.
You're stealing my limelight.
Okay, it's early for a Zotox rant, and I'm sorry if you're not warmed up yet. Gleep, before I do this rant, put me on 1.8 times speed.
On it.
Tim Scott is standing behind him as Trump says, we won New Hampshire 3 times, which is part of the big lie. On May 2nd, 2021,
receipts.
Tim Scott was invited onto Face the Nation, even though for 8 weeks, Tim Scott refused to say that Biden won the election. But a lot of people in the news media just decided that because he acknowledged that Biden won, all of the lying he did before doesn't count. Then this is what you get. Voters who might think like, oh, Tim Scott's not crazy. The one thing journalists are supposed to agree on, if you're lying about the 2020 election, you don't have the judgment to be a source. Okay, sorry that was so long. I'm so sorry.
It's a good point.
Yes, and it's a perfect segue for another unreliable source that was in the room.
It's MAGA time, baby. It's 2024.
It's time to grift, baby. It's grift o'clock.
I'm going to support the true president who kept every single promise.
Wow, look at that guy double fisting back there.
What do you think about the war in Gaza?
Who's asking this?
I'm pro-Israel. I've been pro-Israel the whole time. I had a whole meltdown. I mean, a lot of these guys
I was such a messy bitch about it.
I walked through the halls with a rando baby, okay?
All right, well, part of the fun this week was watching the Republican infighting and seeing Fox get on the defensive.
He said I was going to cut Social Security. I never said I was going to do it. You guys haven't talked about it. We only have X amount of time.
We've only got 3 hours every morning, 7 days a week.
Y'all want to coronate Donald Trump.
You guys want to coronate him?
That's not fair.
You can't say that we're coronating.
No, a coronation's a royal family.
Okay.
Oh my God. She's objecting to the traditional use of the word coronation.
Technically, Governor, Webster's defines coronation.
I'm a very literal person.
I'm really wondering why you think we're the enemy.
I wonder what gave her that impression, Brian.
Trump Force One has just landed. We're going to get a chance to go inside, follow him around.
This music is sick!
I love this.
How's it going?
Is this what is it, diners, drive-ins, and...
It's planes, push carts, and presidents.
Triple P.
You look like you're in fighting shape. How much weight did you lose?
You look just sexy.
Mr. President, I'm hard as a rock right now. Is it okay if I beat off in the bathroom?
How much weight did you lose?
Maybe 15, maybe 20.
How?
The hard way.
Loose stools. That's my secret.
You know what I call it? I call it liquid gold.
Beautiful liquid gold.
Explosive diarrhea from a processed foods diet.
I'm not able to sit down and eat like a person.
My legs don't bend that way.
I physically can't sit down to eat anymore. I just lose all control over my digestive system.
I do not have human functions.
This is the lounge to get away?
You know, I learned privacy is important. Flying on my friend Jeffrey Epstein's plane multiple times.
When you invited me on the plane one time when you were doing The Apprentice, You had a folder full of news articles.
I like articles better than the internet, if you want to know the truth. I like paper. I like to touch it.
I just start touching them. I can't help it.
When you're a star, they let you touch newspapers? There's a clip of January 7th, 2021, where like Kilmeade is like, this was awful.
The president's behavior has been terrible.
To go from that to this and be like, forget it. I don't even know what to call this.
Fluffaganda?
Yeah, it is fluffaganda.
Fluffaganda's pretty good because it's not issues, so it's not propaganda.
It's coined Gleep.
Put it in the Gleeptionary.
Well, they had to try and make him look good after his brain melted over the weekend.
On January 6th, you know, Nikki Haley.
It's like that scene in 6 Feet Under. Anyone remember that when he has the stroke?
No.
All right, never mind. Nikki Haley.
I thought it'd be funny if after he says it 3 times, she appears in Beetlejuice costume.
That isn't a mix-up. The reality is Nikki Haley.
She wasn't speaker.
Nikki Haley is relying on Democrats just like Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, yeah. We all know Trump to be a guy who speaks in complex metaphors.
The kid in the back gets it. Yep. I love that this was a day before he bungled her name.
How good did Elise Stefanik do? Right?
He didn't bungle it. If you think about the phonetics, PH sometimes sounds like F.
Yeah,
that's a good spin.
Actually, I've been saying my name wrong my entire life.
Actually, I will do anything to defend Donald Trump. And he's like, I just found out about this woman named Elaine Stepdraft the other day. Wow, unbelievable.
Eliza Stepchild? Elise Steppenwolf. She's on a magic carpet ride.
You're about to see the fake news version of the worst flub in the world.
Wait, is he talking about himself?
They say Trump made it, so it must be really, really bad. I don't think it is that bad, and actually might even be great.
Oh.
Let's look at the names for a second. Nancy Pelosi and Nikki Haley. All right? They both start with N's. They both end in vowels, both the first name and the last name. The names arguably are rather similar.
Arguably.
Okay?
Oh my God. So easily mixed up, but also he meant to say it.
He said it on purpose, and the fake news fell for it.
Gotcha.
They all had to say later in their reports that it was Nancy Pelosi who was offered the 10,000 troops.
No, I don't think they did.
We offered her 10,000 people.
Okay, a lot of erroneous information there, including the falsehood that the Speaker of the House does not have the authority to turn away troops.
I have a feeling it was up to something else, something a lot more sophisticated.
He's aced 2 cognitive tests for brain damage, and now he's testing the limits of your mind. Trump Angel, mind genius.
It's kind of like when he said, we're going to build a wall and Mexico is going to pay for it.
And then that didn't happen.
Let me break this down for you guys. It's just like this thing that didn't go as planned.
And guess what? He got a lot of the wall done.
He built a couple miles of Lego bricks.
All right, and now for your weekly reminder that Republicans are the party of racists.
I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
I want my pilot to be like, hi, this is Chad.
I don't want LaQuisha James.
It's one thing that Charlie Kirk is racist. It's another thing that he is not fringe.
Right.
Totally.
He is constantly inviting actual elected officials into his orbit.
Totally.
Am I doing a Zotox rant?
You kind of are.
But basically...
Wait, is this a Spornacki rant? She's going back into Spornacki mode.
He is not fringe.
Yep.
We have elected officials who are elevating his platform and vice versa.
He just had on Senator Ron Johnson.
Every Republican should be asked, do you disavow Charlie Kirk?
You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian.
This is the best argument for deplatforming. They literally put them all on screen at the same time. One person is like, I hate it when a black guy gets into the cockpit, and they're all like, yes, such a good point.
Such a good point. And I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit.
I want a pilot with that Matt Rife jaw. If I don't get that, I know this plane's going down.
The cut marble cheekbones. I know I'm in good hands.
He don't understand how the internet works. Now they got his face on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now all the time you see that meme, it's his face on it now.
Well, how do you understand how the internet works?
I don't know. I just somehow do.
Interesting.
Hiya, thanks for tuning in. If you like the show, help us keep this spaceship going. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or drop a comment. We read them all. If you really like the show, subscribe to our Patreon where we share bonus content that didn't make it on this episode. Okay, gotta go. Thank you. Bye.